Good afternoon and welcome to the Penn State Football Press Conference. Just a reminder to turn your cell phones to vibrate off or mute, and we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Just quickly summarize kind of the Illinois game. Most of the stuff you guys already have. We're even in the turnover battle of that game. That's an area that we're going to have to do a better job at moving forward. We won the penalty battle. We won the drive start battle. We won the sack battle. We won the explosive play battle, which was big. Coaching staff players of the week was was Miles Sanders. Defensively was Garrett Taylor, and special teams was John Patrician. General positives, one on the road in the Big Ten, which is always difficult to do. We believe in each other and our process. I think that has become very obvious in our locker room and on the field. First time in Penn State history with 50 points in 3 straight games. One of the messages I'd like to get out there about that is I think a lot of times everybody's focus is on the offense, but you don't do that without all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams all playing a part in that. Just the 4th time in the last 100 years, the Big Ten team has scored 60 points in back-to-back games. Same thing, offense, defense, and special teams. 2 interceptions for the first time in guys' careers, Jan and Ellis. I thought Jan's was a great example. When you run to the ball, good things happen. We got Amani stripping the ball out, and Jan was there to clean it up, which was awesome. Offense rushed for 387 yards against a Big Ten opponent, and Miles obviously with 200 yards and 3 touchdowns. And then I think a general positive is we can get better. And we need to get better one day at a time, and that's how we'll approach it. Opportunities for growth. I think we need to be a little bit more consistent on special teams from an execution perspective. Defensively, I think we can be more ball aware. When the ball's in the air, it's ours. When we're going to tackle a ball carrier, we're trying to strip the ball out. When the ball is on the ground, that we're constantly scooping and scoring every time it's on the ground. Offensively, we got to be more ball secure. That is decision making. That is protecting the quarterback. That's high and tight. That's ball in the outside arm. And then I think we can be more detailed and precise and efficient in our passing game, and we need to be. And then just in general, eliminating penalties. Allow our opponents to give away yards. We don't need to do that. Those are the notes that I had from the previous game. Kind of getting into Ohio State, obviously got tremendous respect for Ohio State, their football program, their traditions, their history, their talent on their roster, and obviously the way they've been able to win at a high level. 3 of the last 4 meetings have been decided, by 7 points or less. So this has been a very competitive, series for the 4 years that we've been here. And obviously Urban, his record on the field speaks for itself. So it's going to be a tremendous challenge for us. They have 6 offensive starters returning, 4 defensive starters returning, and then 5 specialists. They're strong. From a specialist perspective, we're going to have to win the critical statistics. That's going to be very important. You're playing 2 programs that know how to win, so being able to win those critical stats, like I talk about every week when I come in here, turnover ratio, explosive plays, things like that, is going to be really important. Offensively, Ryan Day, I've known for a long time. I've always respected Ryan, from a distance, all the way back to his time at Boston College. He's really doing some nice things. Obviously, 30 touchdowns in 4 games, a bunch of explosive plays, one of the more explosive teams in the country, and obviously, almost 55 points per game, over 500 yards and 40 points per game. I think total offense are actually at 599 yards. So, real challenge. Dwayne Haskins, guy that we know very well. We recruited Dwayne. I did see the video that came out when he was like 8 years old in the Ohio State locker room. We probably weren't going to win that battle after seeing that video. But obviously very, very talented guy. I'm happy for him. and the success that he's having. Probably an ideal situation for a first-time starter. The talent that he is surrounded with is impressive. The running backs, the wide receivers, and probably the best offensive line that we've seen at Ohio State in the last 4 years. Scheme-wise, they're predominantly a one-back set. They will use, they'll use a tight end to get into some two running back sets. They're 11 personnel almost 80% of the time, and they're pretty balanced, 50% run to pass. They like the zone, the stretch, the counter, and the power. 12 personnel is their next most popular personnel group. They like to run the kick play, the zone, the stretch, and the power. And then they will mix in a little bit of 10 personnel as well, which is a majority of pass. Tempo is a big part of what they do, but primarily it shows up after explosive plays, after a big play. And then, they do a good job with their intermediate and short routes as well. Impressed with Dwayne Haskins, the way he's able to, throw for such a high percentage, such a high touchdown to interception ratio. And again, the type of talent he's surrounded with is impressive. Wide receiver number 14, KJ Hill, can change the game at any moment. Paris Campbell can change the game at any moment. And then obviously they got two of the better backs in the country in J.K. Dobbins and Mike Weber. So impressed with all those guys. Another guy that we recruited, Isaiah Prince, offensive tackle, is really, really playing well right now. So been impressed with them. Defensively, Greg Schiano, have got a lot of respect for Greg over his entire career, all the way back to when he was the head coach at Rutgers and what he was able to do with that program. They're sound, they're well coached, they're athletic. They're a 4-down front. They're going to play Tampa 2. They're going to play cover 1. They're going to play what we call 4X and Z, which is what Michigan State has made very popular over the last couple of years. And then they're going to play cover 1 with pressure. 31% overall pressure, 26 on normal downs, and 42% on third down. The guys that kind of stand out to us defensively is number 86, Draymond Jones, is really doing some great things. Another guy that we recruited, Jordan Fuller, strong safety, number 4. And then Damon Arnett, the cornerback, all playing well. And then on special teams is Taver Johnson running that unit, but obviously we all know Urban's very involved in special teams, has been for a while. They've returned 5 starters, and their scheme is aggressive. They play, with tremendous effort, and they got a lot of athletes on the field. Guys we've been impressed with is their punter, Drew Chrisman, number 23, Jason Wint, out of Brooklyn, is 15 tackles in a season, primarily all on special teams. Same thing, with number 52, Dante Booker, is also a guy who really shows up, making a bunch of plays on special teams. And then we also see the same thing with number 47, Justin Hilliard, as well as number 1, Jeffrey Okuda. So, some really good players, some really talented players. It's going to be obviously a great environment. We're looking forward to it. We had a great practice on Sunday, had off yesterday, and we'll get back out on the field today. So look forward to the opportunity. Open up the questions. Yeah, I probably, thanks, Chris. Probably do want to mention